I think it's gonna be like a recreation, and they're trying to like cast A-listers and stuff like that. We'll see if it happens.
Do you believe there's gonna be a butt plug joke in there?
Of course.
There has to be.
There
right?
has to be. I mean, I think the only reason it got picked up is because of the butt plug
you think
joke.
So?
Yeah. I mean, I really wish that somebody would cheat with a butt plug for chess because we could use it right now. Like, just take one for the team.
Welcome back to another episode of Around the Bar. Today we have Alex Botez in the building, and she is drinking one of the most unique drinks that we've ever had. Actually, the most unique drink we've ever had. If you guys don't know of Alex, her and her sister are a powerhouse duo when it comes to content creation, specifically chess content creation with the two of them, but also they have their own avenues in poker and music. We talk about some awesome things in this episode. Of course, we talk a little bit about chess, not much though. We talk about poker, and we talk about their brief little moment in Optic and the fun memories that we had there, and what they're doing in the future. And also, if you guys do enjoy this episode, please go check out the Patreon. Over on the Patreon, we have extended cuts of the podcast, ad-free viewing as well. We also have different shows that we produce, like advice shows. We play some poker. We have a Discord channel where we all hang out in. It's a really great time, and all the funds from that Patreon go straight back into the show. So we try to get more guests and hotels and flights, and you know, it takes a lot. So everything, all the support from the Patreon is much appreciated. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and please enjoy this episode of Around the Bar with Alex Botez.
So this is a sketchy hotel room you invited me to. Like, you want to talk about this setup?
I felt so weird like DMing it to you. I was like, yeah, it's room 16. I guess we can say it. It's room 1602. Like,
yeah.
And it's all the way down the hallway.
Yeah.
The long hallway. I should have probably met you and walked you, but
no, it's
that would have
cool.
maybe even been worse. I think that might have been worse.
It was an adventure, and it made it fun to get here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just wanted to warn you, it's a mobile setup. We got a little desk, but I did brought some stuff. It looks like kind of a makeshift bar.
You brought the stuff to make my favorite drink, which
Yes.
you can only find in Canada.
Yes.
So I respect that.
Yeah, you said that I wouldn't be able to do it, which I took as a challenge.
I wanted to say that so you'd try harder.
I did try.
I have been craving a good Caesar in a long time. Like,
Really?
I'm not really a big drinker, but Caesars, oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so your drink, you told me, I always ask the guests what they want to drink, and you said a vodka Caesar, double vodka Caesar.
Double vodka, because you can put so much alcohol in this and you can't taste it because it's so spicy.
Yeah, so you like it spicy as well.
Yes.
Okay, so the ingredients, I have them listed off here, are clamato juice, which is clam and tomato juice. Right?
Is that really what it is?
That's what it says.
I thought it was just spicy tomato, but I think there might be some clam juice in there.
It's clam and tomato juice.
Don't knock it until you try it.
2 dashes of Tabasco.
Hell yeah. I like to put maybe like 3 to 4.
3 to 4? Yeah. Okay. Worcestershire sauce. Did I say that right?
I have no idea. I always say it wrong. And I think this is usually like a barbecue sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so too. And then limes and vodka, obviously, and a celery stick.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's like I've never had a Bloody Mary, but I'm guessing it's like the closest to.
Do you think it's gonna taste good? Do you think you'll like it?
Don't
like that hesitation.
Maybe. I like spicy stuff.
Okay.
But I also don't have a sense of smell, so I can't really taste.
Like you never have, or COVID hit you?
I actually was, I got it beforehand. I got it before COVID. When I was 18, I got sinusitis, and I haven't been able to smell since.
And you know, smell is, I mean, I'm sure you know this.
You're
the one suffering it. It changes how you taste things.
I do know this, yes.
It's crazy.
Okay, so I think you start with the dashes first. Oh, no, you start with the ice. You start with the ice.
Okay, let's do it.
Unless you don't want to.
No, I want it.
I'm making one for Matt, too. I'm making him have one.
Hell yeah. You promise? Don't say sure like it's not the best thing you're about to taste.
He also has a Sprite over there, so it's either this or the Sprite.
It's got to be this.
Which I'm sure.
Yeah. We'll give him the small cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you
That's
first...
enough ice. I don't want to water down the Caesar.
Oh,
please.
You're supposed to. Okay.
Are you supposed to?
It says you're supposed to blast it to the top.
Okay, blast it to the top.
If you don't want,
no,
we don't
no,
have
no.
to.
I want to see what the bartender does.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'm slowly but surely with the show, just learning how to make different drinks. This is by far the most unique one. like by far.
Were you big into mixology before this, or?
I did the thing where I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at one point, and
Yeah.
I bought a book to help me, and I made drinks for my mom.
That's
Does that
actually
count?
really sweet. Are
I
you
don't know
kidding?
if that counts. All right.
Okay.
4 dashes.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. All right. We'll take.
that
I
it?
could always add more.
Okay.
Later.
Okay. 3, 4.
Hell yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Your stomach gonna be able to handle this? Even 1 or 2 sips, like okay.
You can't handle spice.
We're
Okay.
good. And
It's the rest of the ingredients he's concerned about. All right, let's put the steak sauce in the drink now. Look, Canadians are built different.
Oh,
Is that how much you're
I
supposed
think
to
that's
put?
no. I think that's good. I was watching videos, and that's what
Okay.
they did. One of those.
Oh, it smells so good.
Does that smell good? What? Smell good? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's too far
What do you
away.
mean it smells so good? You can't smell.
I was asking him if it did.
Oh, okay.
I was asking him if it smelled
That's
good.
fair.
And then now we go the vodka.
All right.
Now we go vodka. We're and you want 2 shots?
Well, only if you're joining me.
Of course.
Okay,
I
let's do
I will
it.
copy whatever you're doing. This is the
Yeah.
most insane thing. I've also never made a drink. I usually always have the drinks prepared, but this
Yeah.
is so.
I'm also Eastern European, so we have pretty high alcohol tolerance. So the
Right.
double vodka is not bad.
You just have it. It's genetic.
I don't know if it's genetic or if it's the fact that you're encouraged to taste alcohol from when you're like 12 to 15.
Okay.
But whatever it is, it's
That's a lot of
there.
alcohol. That's a lot of vodka. But
We're gonna see you get a little loose
I
today.
am down for it. I'm down for it.
Oh my gosh,
Okay, there's one.
I'm impressed so far.
So how did this start? How you told me it's a big Canadian drink. I did read that like Canadian bartenders say if you don't have Clamato, like they're gonna leave.
Wow,
So-
do they really?
That's what it said. They said it's a must-have drink in Canada.
Yeah, so my best friend got me into it. She's also
Okay.
Canadian. But honestly, like most Canadians love Caesars. And you
Right.
go to the US, and every time I'm at a bar, I always ask, can you make a Caesars? And not once has somebody said yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, half of the reason I said yes to the pod is because you're making me a
Oh,
Caesar,
okay,
you
bro,
know?
that's perfect. Hey, whatever it takes, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so here we go. And then last, I believe, is the juice. Fill it to the top with
Clamato.
juice.
Yes.
And
And then we mix it up.
And then it's celery time.
Wow.
Clamato, clam and tomato juice.
Please, if you're American, you don't know what you're missing out. You have to try this. But I'm not going to say that until I see your guys' reaction, and
say,
I'm curious if you're going to like it.
My reaction, I will be able to fake it.
Should we talk? No, don't fake it. Come on.
I'll be able to fake it. Matt will not be able to fake it
All right.
because Matt can smell it and taste it.
Well, I would like your honest take, but if you
Okay.
can't smell it, might not be as good. What'd you put on the rim, by the way?
The celery salt. That's what it is.
Nice.
Celery.
I'm so excited.
The celery stick.
Wow.
Celery stick for Matt.
Matt, you feeling excited? Yay!
All right.
Sometimes they put like a pickle and meat in it, but you are supposed to
Meat?
mix it. Yeah. Canadians, I guess, will put anything
Here you
in.
go, Matt.
Get in here.
Somebody just got you.
Yeah,
One of your
my
friends
best
got
friend
you
got
on
me
it?
hooked on this.
So this is your only drink.
I mean,
one
like
out.
otherwise I'll do like the white bitch specials, like the vodka tonic or
Oh,
tequila
man.
soda.
Yeah, that would have been too easy to make.
Yeah, no.
We had to really make a soup. This is basically soup.
It's soup. Okay, make sure you mix it good though.
I mixed it. I mixed
Matt
mine.
didn't. I'm taking a peek.
Does it smell okay? Does it smell like accurate? Did we do it right?
Smells pretty decent.
Okay, good.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers,
I'm so
cheers.
nervous. I
Thank
hope
you
this
so
is
much for
it.
coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's almost to my taste,
Almost 2 days.
but it's still really good.
Okay. How are we at, Matt? What is that? What is that look?
Hmm.
You're unsure. Okay.
I think it can be a little spicier.
A little spicier? Do you want
A
some
little
more?
more Tabasco.
You want
Yeah.
some more? All right. How many dashes?
Maybe let's do 2.
2 more dashes.
Okay, 3.
3 more
Okay,
dashes.
4.
4 more dashes.
All right, let me see if this is it.
That's so funny. What a weird drink. Is this like a cocktail? You're not going to a bar or like a club and getting these. I mean,
I would.
you would?
It's definitely a bar drink.
bar
though.
drink.
Yeah.
Bar casual.
I haven't been to a club in Canada almost ever.
Okay.
I think so. I wouldn't know. I thought we were in trouble. Okay, what do you think about it? You could be honest.
I actually don't mind it. But that being said, I like the texture of it. I like the spice, and I really like spicy stuff too.
Are you supposed to? I've never seen the lime in before.
Squeeze the lime in.
That's
Squeeze the lime in. How are you liking Dreamhack? We're at Dreamhack right now. That's why we have the mobile set up. I know you're here to do like a.
It was honestly
Meet and
fun.
greet?
Today, we did like a commercial with Tyler One where he's
Okay.
trying to get into the chess esports World Cup challenger, and we somehow rope him into dressing in a big inflatable pawn. And at some point, Tyler One is running in this chess inflatable pawn, and we're running after him like, "Stop that pawn!" And people are looking around like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Okay. Sounds like you had a very.
So that was honestly
Interesting
hilarious. Seeing him waddle in that pawn was
Yeah.
fantastic. And then we did a meet and greet, and everyone here was so sweet.
Yeah.
And a lot of people came in their Optic jerseys.
Oh yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of. I mean, we have two different teams here, like the COD team and the Halo team.
Yeah.
Yeah, people ask about you guys all the time.
Do they really?
Yeah, all the time.
They didn't forget us?
No,
Aw.
absolutely not.
There was
Absolutely
one
not.
person at our meet and greet who said, "I don't play chess. I don't like it, but I learned about you guys through Optic."
That's awesome.
I was like, "That's really wholesome."
Yeah, that is
Don't worry,
awesome.
we struggle with chess too, So it's kind of normal. What
How-
about for you? How has it been?
For what? Oh,
Dreamhack.
Dreamhack?
Yeah.
Well, it's been in like the Call of Duty Halo world, like it used to be together and then
Yeah.
like they franchised, so they like have split up. And this is the first time they're back together again in I think like 7 years. It's been
Okay.
insane. So it's awesome having two of our teams here. They
Yeah.
are on opposite sides of the venue though. I don't know if you've seen, but Call of Duty is on one side and on the very other side is Halo. So it's like
So you're getting your steps.
it's like a
in, is what
half a
you're
mile
saying.
walk, yeah.
Yeah.
But where was chess?
It was in the convention part where you can buy things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
So
about.
I don't know. Somebody escorted us there because we shot this commercial for like 3 to 4 hours, and we kept shooting it in different parts of it. So it was,
Oh,
and then we
wow.
went straight to the meet and greet.
Oh, so you haven't had time to like enjoy the. I don't know if conventions are your thing.
Not
but-
yet. I did go to my first TwitchCon before we were really big, and I did enjoy it, but I was just like a hustler. I was trying to go to brands and get
Oh,
brand
yeah.
deals and stuff like that.
You don't have to hustle
Whereas
nearly
now
as
I'm like,
much.
no. You guys, you hustle me. Yeah.
What do I need to do?
Yeah, no, you tell me. Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to go from like someone super thirsty to having people thirst
Yeah,
for you.
I
You know?
of course that's the goal. Have people
Yeah.
thirst for you. Well,
Is that the goal?
I don't know if that's always the goal.
Would you rather be loved or respected?
Depends on who we're talking about here. But mostly,
general.
mostly respected.
Mostly respected.
Mostly respected. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of my goal. What about you?
I think respected, but I think as a
hesitated.
woman, it's better to be loved.
It's better to be loved.
But I don't care what's better. I want the respect.
I
you
get
know?
that. I get that.
Unfortunately, it's the personality. So
So, is there an esport or not esport? Is there a chess tournament here?
chess just recently got added on to the esports World Cup, so they're going to be playing in Riyadh.
Oh.
Magnus is going, Hikaru is going.
Oh,
There were some
wow.
grandmasters playing today, like Penguin GM, Andrew Tang, who's super
Okay.
fast. So chess is now an esport.
An esport,
And a lot of
which
the
is-
grandmasters are pissed because they took off increment, which means before when you make a move, you get time added to the clock.
Right.
But they completely took that out. And a lot of chess players are like, no, it must be the best chess that gets a prize pool. But
Right.
this is better for viewership. So I'm
Yeah.
excited how our chess players are going to adapt to the
Yeah.
esport audience. And they're going to have to be playing on the computer, so they have to play on PC instead of over the board. And the
my
audience
God.
is going to be there, same as with esports. And I know you guys can handle it, but chess
Can
players
they?
are way more particular.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to watch. I don't know anything about chess, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to see like chess. When you think chess, you think, well, when I think chess, I think movies or like parks or
Yeah.
where they're like very quiet and it's, everyone's in their head. But esports is like loud and boisterous. And
Yeah.
like, how is chess going to be able to adapt to that?
I don't know. We tried it once before. It was called the Pro Chess League, and they
Okay.
padded the earphones really heavily, and people
Right.
were watching and yelling, and it did kind of work out.
Mhm.
So I'm optimistic. Are you going to Riyadh, by the way? Is Optic?
Seth is.
Seth is,
believe.
okay.
Is Seth going? We don't know yet.
Okay,
We don't know
okay.
yet. That we have two more tournaments. One is in Toronto, so they're gearing up for Toronto.
Yeah.
And yeah, the one's in Riyadh. But it seems like esports World Cup is like a month-long thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's going to be any overlap. Are you going?
I have no idea yet.
Will you take are you going to compete or take a commentary job?
Probably
or
commentary. I'm not going to compete with Magnus and Hikaru as much as I would like to go there and embarrass myself. It's probably more on the content / commentator side, which is fine.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. I've heard it's crazy. They have like a whole compound of just different stuff over there.
Really?
Like-
Which ones are you most excited about?
For Esports World Cup.
Yeah.
I like COD being there. I think that's awesome. And it's a little different. I mean, kind of like how chess is a little different there. How they run their Call of Duty tournaments a little different, so it like spices it up a little bit.
Do you think esports is back?
Esports, I think the viewerships. I think people are liking to watch it more again. I think the business side is always going to be hard. You know, how's the business side of chess? I know that's a random question.
So obviously it's not going to be at the levels that it was after Queen's Gambit because it really turned chess into just a global phenomena.
Yeah.
So basically the peak is lower than that, but if you look at it, it's steadily growing over time, which is pretty solid.
Right.
Yeah.
So there wasn't was there a dip after like Queen's Gambit comes out?
There was a dip from the peak, but if you look at the trend overall and you remove the peaks and the falls, it's still trending higher and higher each year, which is pretty sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And there is a big movie coming out at the start of next year, which
Queen's
is on.
Gambit 2.
I wish. God, I wish. But no. Are you familiar with A24, Nathan Fielder, or Emma Stone?
I know who Emma Stone is.
Okay, 1 out of 3, not
Yeah,
bad. So
there we go.
A24 is like this premier Hollywood studio. Nathan Fielder is my favorite comedian.
Okay.
He's hilarious. Nathan, for you, the rehearsal? No? In the
Matt?
comment, if you know,
You know
comment.
who Nathan Field? He's a big comedy
Okay,
guy.
are you a fan of Nathan?
I've only watched like.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to at least watch one episode,
Okay.
Nathan, for you, please.
Okay, we'll do. We'll do.
But anyway, they're working on a show on the Magnus and Hans controversy, and it's their biggest budget ever.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's at the start of next year. So even if there's like a 5% chance it has some of the success of Queen's Gambit, that's really
Right.
cool for chess in general.
And it's a comedy?
I think it's gonna
Serious?
be like a recreation, and they're trying to like cast A-listers and
Are
stuff
they-
like that. We'll see if it happens.
Do you believe there's going to be a butt plug joke in there?
Of course.
There has to be,
There
right?
has to be. I mean, I think the only reason it got picked up is because of the butt
You
plug
think
joke.
so?
Yeah. I mean, I really wish that somebody would cheat with a butt plug for chess because we could use it right now. Like,
use
just take one for the team. Would you not put a butt plug up if it would help your entire industry?
It depends on what's in it for me. Actually, yes, I would do it.
You would do it.
I would take one for the team.
You take one for the team.
Yeah, I would. I think that's what would have to be done.
Yeah.
Because then the people within the industry knows, like
Like
I
he
did it for you
I
guys.
did it for you guys.
I did it for the better of the
You're
team.
there, you're like crying. You're walking all slow. It's like, don't say I never did anything for you.
As I'm waddling to my setup, I'm like, this is for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
What about Call of Duty? Like, where would you say it is relatively popularity wise?
I mean, it's withstood the test of time.
Mhm.
It's a weird game, weird esport, but
Yeah.
people seem. I mean, it's like we were just watching Seth's watch party, and Seth was such like a popular player that we were all
Yeah.
kind of concerned when he retired. Like,
what would happen?
What would happen?
Yeah. Oh my
It
God.
seems to
If,
be going
if
really
we
well.
lose Magnus or Hikaru, we're so fucked.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
We're so fucked. No, and like the chess world talks about it. Like when these stars retire, what are we
Really?
doing?
Because these are
Butt
the
plugs for everyone.
butt plug.
obviously.
It's
but
butt plug
what are
time.
we doing? Yeah.
That's-
Yeah.
I probably should be screaming that in a hotel room.
It's already sketchy in here, man.
There's cameras
Yeah.
and lights, and I'm screaming it's butt plug time.
Your intro should just be us saying butt plug over and over again with no
With no
context.
con-
Yeah.
It's just that. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah. Would you take one for the team? Butt plug. That'd be pretty fun.
These are actually pretty good.
Let's
They're
go.
They're actually
okay,
not bad.
but the other thing is you can't taste the two shots. Can you? I can't.
I can't taste the two shots. No.
This is what I mean. That's what I think.
It
That's another
masks
reason
it.
why Canadians like it because it masks it, and Canadians do have kind of a rowdy drinking culture. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I can.
I mean,
can
so do
see that.
Texans, though.
Yeah, but Texans is more like straight shots of whiskey or
Okay.
beers.
You're right. I don't
Tons
wanna.
and tons of beers.
You're right. Chasing it is some pussy shit. Yeah.
Do you miss Texas?
I actually really like Austin.
Yeah.
Do I still think it's where ambition goes to die in your 20s? Probably. I
What
think
does
you
that
need to be
mean?
in an international city if you have a really high ceiling for your goals. And what I mean by that is there's certain things that you just cannot do unless you're in a tier 1 city in the US in terms of opportunities. So for example, if you live in LA, you get more brand deals just because you're there. Same
Right.
with New York. And you cannot get that as much in Austin.
In Austin.
That
Okay.
being said, like obviously there's extremely ambitious people in Austin. Like you have the entire tech crowd.
Yeah.
You have the streamers who are living over there and they're
Mhm.
extremely ambitious. So it's a generalization that I joke, so don't take it too personally. But at least for us personally, there are more opportunities sports
Yeah.
outside of it.
What do you consider? Are there only 2 tier 1 cities in America?
I think there are 2 tier 1 cities,
Mm-hmm.
LA and New York.
Yeah.
San Francisco, I could say,
San
is like
Francisco.
a tier 1.5 city. Same with Miami.
Chicago?
Chicago.
It's gotta be in there.
Do you think Chicago is as high a tier as San Francisco? It feels lower than San Francisco and Miami, actually. You tell me if I'm wrong.
I'm with you on Miami. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's just our industry is like pretty big in Chicago.
Yeah.
So are sports.
For sure.
But I don't know. Maybe.
But weather-wise.
Weather, yeah. Oh yeah, Chicago
Yeah.
weather is horrible.
Yeah. And for
Not
what
great.
it's worth, I feel like living in different cities depends on what stage you are in your life. Like, I don't want to live in New York or LA when I'm
Right.
older, but for now, I think it makes sense. And
And
I also know I'm just like roasting every other city in the U.S. and people are gonna get upset in the comments.
Oh well. Are you in New York now?
I'm actually in LA, but
You're
I am
still in
going to
LA.
New York on Monday because I haven't been in a while, and I do miss it. And Andrea and I are always debating whether we want to move back or stay in LA.
Yeah.
Um,
I think last time we talked, you were in the process of moving to New York. So I
yeah,
don't know.
so we threw a going away party in the old Optic house because we were moving to New York, and then we decided to stay.
Are you serious? You never
Yeah,
went?
yes, and all of our friends who came were like, "Oh, psych!"
Oh my
But-
god!
but
You're just getting the last bit.
I got to see who the real friends were, the ones who didn't show up for our going away party.
That's so true.
No, just kidding.
And then
It's
it
not
gets
our fault.
then it gets awkward the next week.
Yeah,
I thought
you're
you
like,
left.
I thought you left. It's like, no, we're still here. But have you lived in Texas all your life?
No, so Optic was in Chicago for a little bit, and then we moved down here.
That's
so
why
we've
you
been
like Chicago.
we've been down here for since 2018. So
I mean, Texas is so affordable, and you have the sick
It's
tax
nice.
situation, and obviously your fan base and offices are
Right.
here. So I guess I wouldn't leave if I was in Texas
yeah,
now.
and it's very internet based what we do. Like
Yeah.
you have to have the best speeds and the best like ping, and that's really good in Texas. Like
Yeah.
super good. So
Speaking of the internet,
yeah.
what are your thoughts on AI? Do you think it's coming for us?
Holy shit. Yeah. Have you seen like the new podcast clips that are just pure AI
For sure.
or street interviews that are
Yep.
pure AI and
Yep.
you can't even tell? Yeah,
Mhm.
how is that affecting the fucking chess and poker world? I guess chess and poker have both been solved though, right?
Poker, you could already use a solver for it. It's more like the online sites making sure that you're not and trying to find bots and stuff like that, but it's still really hard online. In person, you could see if somebody's using a solver, at least
Yeah.
in poker. But the cool thing in poker is you can cheat and still lose, whereas in chess, if you cheat a little bit, then like you really have a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Like Magnus went on Joe Rogan and said that if he was cheating, no one would know because like you could do it so subtly and at the highest levels now.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about AI because I think the singularity is coming, and I think we're either dead or better in the next 10 years.
Dead
like,
or better?
for sure. But like I've gone off into cuckoo land in terms of like AI. So
I feel like you can when it comes to AI.
yeah,
I
like
talk
it's
about
so
it.
hard to care about anything else, and like everything we know is about to change
Yeah.
so quickly.
So it consumes your brain a little
It
bit.
consumes my brain, and every day I'm like, why am I not just working in AI? I'm like, no, I'm still passionate about these things, and even if it's coming,
Yeah.
like at least spending my time doing
Right.
things I enjoy.
You know, have you won a bracelet yet? You're gonna
No.
win a bracelet before AI takes us all over. You
That-
got 10 years. That's
10 years? Yeah, maybe 10 years.
maybe 10 years.
Maybe 10 years. Maybe less.
Maybe less.
I have friends who are like, I think it's coming in the next year. I'm like, I don't.
Next year.
I think it's gonna come at different paces depending on what industry.
Yeah.
But the way I define the singularity is having non-biological beings being smarter than all of biological beings combined. So that's what I would define as a singularity.
Yeah.
Like that's probably not gonna come in the short term, but in my lifetime for sure.
Yeah. Is it going to affect entertainment?
It's gonna affect everything.
Everything.
It's more like, are we still gonna be a species versus like, is it gonna affect chess or poker? Like, I don't know if I'm alive to play it. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes. I mean, I'm just trying to think of actors and stand-up comedy and I mean gamers for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's already existed for
I mean,
years.
I'm sure you guys have had companies like asking to turn you into AI, no?
Not me.
Okay, I have.
No. Turn you into AI.
Yeah,
What does
so
that
like,
mean?
so it would look at all of your previous VODs or any of your YouTube videos,
Okay.
and then it would use that data to train an AI that's like a video version of you that people can interact with. But I'm sure in the future, at some point, like you'll be able to type prompts and things like that, not even need to film it, and just like
Yeah.
be able to scale your brand, which is what a lot of people are already doing.
Which is good and scary and dangerous.
Yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of cool use cases too. One of the
Yeah.
things I was looking at recently is for people who want to create their own cartoons or stuff like that. Now, one person who doesn't have a huge budget can do that
That's
with the help
true.
of AI. So, like, in some ways, it democratizes things where before you'd need a really big budget, and after you're a creative person who wants to work on it, you could do a lot of things yourselves, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like, it's also going to displace so many people from their jobs, and are we going to be able to help them out fast enough for the people who
Right.
are getting fucked by AI? I don't know.
Or is AI going to be able to understand itself that we need to help the humans that we are now taking over?
That's the big question.
Is
Is
it-
AI aligned with us or
Exactly.
not?
Is it going to be a nice AI or a mean AI?
Yeah. Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers,
We're
Matt.
still alive, Matt.
Matt
Matt,
almost
is this
has.
what you were expecting?
Matt almost has taken 3 sips. Matt has almost
Matt.
taken 3 sips.
Come on, buddy.
It's just staying there.
I mean, it hurts my soul,
No,
honestly.
he's hitting another sip. So, is your love for poker ever going to overtake your love for chess?
I think it sort of recently has.
Recently has.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it oscillates. Like, I really love both. I think I've just been doing so much chess as the main focus for so long
Yeah,
that,
of course.
you burn out a little bit. But I've been playing a lot of in-person cash games in LA.
Yeah.
And what I like about them is that it just feels like a social activity with friends. I think if I had all of my chess friends in LA and we were meeting to play Blitz, then I would love it just as much. But
Okay.
poker is such a good way to bring people together. Like, we'll play $2, $3. It's not crazy blinds.
Right.
But it's like you get to hang out with your friends for 5 hours while you're playing a game you like.
Yeah.
And that's something that, at least in LA, my sister doesn't want to play Blitz with me. And it's
Okay.
like only really fun when you're playing people around your level, but with poker, there's so much variance that it could feel like a more even game regardless.
Yeah.
So I do like that a lot.
So cash games are social. I love poker. I love watching it. I've watched it my whole life, and I've played like online, but I've never played an in-person game.
well, like I said, if you want to stop by tomorrow, you can. Although I'm
yeah.
worried Wolfgang is going to take your money.
Oh, of course, he's gonna hit me with the double sevens and put me on a short. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that. I might have to pass this time because it's 5. You said it's 510 or
No,
what?
2-3.
Oh.
I think you're buying for like 300 to 500.
That's not horrible.
But you're still going to be the fish at the table.
I'm for sure gonna be the fish.
Yeah, and it's not a good feeling to be the fish unless you win, and then it's like,
And then it's like,
sucks to
this
suck for
game's
you
easy.
guys. Yeah.
I thought you guys said this was hard.
But that's how people get hooked into poker. They have a big win early on, and then it's hard to stop.
And then they never recover.
But the interesting thing with poker is I just taught my roommate, and she's a chess player, and she's now addicted to grinding tournaments, and she plays them really low stakes. She's responsible
Right.
about it, but she's like, wow, it really tickles something the same way chess does.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I think that's why there's so much overlap between the two.
I was always wondering why there's so much overlap. I've never
Yeah.
like played chess like that. Is it just the thought, like the thinking?
I think the way you're trying to figure out what hands your opponent can have is problem solving, and it's really satisfying even if you get it wrong or trying to make the right decision. And there's some logic that's probably similar with people who like the logic in chess.
Yeah.
But also, I think chess players are used to have grinded decades of their life for a game out of passion and making no money. And then you're like, wait, if I would have grinded this at poker, I would have done what? And then it's
right.
crazy. And like, obviously, a lot of people think poker and they think, oh, it's pure gambling.
Right.
But one of the interesting things about poker is like if you compare traders versus poker players, like there's actually less variance long term over poker. So I think people don't realize
Okay.
that how much skill matters in poker if you're actually doing it as a career,
Right.
because you need to have enough reps in that obviously the variance is towards you.
One thing that I've always wanted to ask, because I watch every year, which I actually just texted my fiance, because every day for the summer we watch, before we lay down, we watch Daniel Negreanu's vlogs.
Wait, that's so sick.
Yeah, it's like our go-to nightly routine. And I just texted her because I saw World Series of Poker like tweeted out like 2 more days or whatever, 5 more days. It's coming. And I've always kind of wondered, like every year, because at the very end of Daniel Negreanu, if you guys don't know who he is, he's like one of the most popular poker players of all time. And he makes a daily vlog now of all of his World Series of Poker games. And I've watched it consistently for the past like 4 years, and he's one of the best ever, and he never comes out positive. He's negative at the end of his World Series of Poker run all the time,
Yeah.
but he's worth like $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
So how?
That's a good question. Well, Daniel now is also sponsored, right?
Okay.
So he's working with the owners of the WSOP.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are still pros who do make their money from poker.
From just poker,
From
yeah.
just poker. But a lot of the famous players are also sponsored, and that helps a lot.
Right.
Although for Daniel Negreanu, like maybe he's like, I know last year he was down. This year, the summer, it just started, so we need to give it a little bit. But he's also had years where he's up, so I'm not sure where it evens out.
Like at those stakes, I guess if you win one tournament, it's like a 30 or like I don't know, like $10 million tournament or
$10
like
million first prize. Yeah.
Prize pool.
Well, so most players sell a percentage of their actions, so they're not playing stakes quite as big. But with tournaments, it's really fucked because you're losing like 85% of the time you played. Like you're losing money most tournaments, and you need to make it and get those big cashes, and that usually makes up for most of it.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to make money in cash poker, but it's also easier to lose a shit ton of money and go broke in cash.
In cash?
In cash than tournaments. So
you lose more in cash than you do in tournaments.
Because in tournaments, you have a specified buy-in, and I think it's just easier to bankroll yourself properly because you're like, I'm going to play this amount of events, this amount of bullets or buy-ins, so then you have a total amount. In cash, if you're playing at a table and you're playing at a table where you know you're the best player, you're going to keep rebuying until the end because it's EV positive. But if you have like a bad night, you can be down a lot of money. And I've talked to quite a few poker people who have made a lot of money and also gone back to broke. And it's
really?
It seems like a really tough lifestyle to be a cash player.
So what are you?
I would say I'm a poker creator.
Okay. Seems like a great place to be.
It is a great place to be. I do like tournaments more because they remind me more of chess in a way.
That makes sense.
But socially, I really like cash. But again, if I'm playing cash, I'm usually buying in like $500 with my friends. So like the amount of money that like I still write down, and I will say it's usually positive over quite a few months. But then again, like I'm playing with my friends, but I still am writing it down because poker is part of my job. So like I actually need to be good with accounting.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
What was it? Were you nervous your first poker game? Like your first in person
so
poker game?
I actually started playing poker when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
So my dad taught me how to play, and sometimes he'd be playing online at work, and I was like, I don't know, 8 or something, be like, take over, I gotta go, and then I play on his account instead. So and then I kind of played growing up also and things like that.
Right.
So then I had already played quite a bit before I played the first one, but I hadn't studied any poker.
Okay.
But my first in-person tournament, I was kind of nervous and I was making silly mistakes and like someone folded to me and later they realized I was efficient. They're like, wow, I can't believe I gave you that much respect. And I was like, that's right, bitch. Cause like, you need to poke people a little bit. Yeah. But no, for me, I don't really get as many nerves about it unless it's a really big buy-in, which I will not play big buy-ins unless like I'm sponsored or staked.
Or staked, yeah.
That's the biggest thing. You need to play stakes that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And also for me, the biggest thing I'm excited about poker nowadays is really the social aspect and figuring out how to make different content around poker that isn't just casino, high stakes, and this is all people know about poker. I want there to be, no, like this is how you play when you're with your friends. Like, you know how they do hot ones and it's just something everybody does now? And it's not really about the wings, it's about the activity and being there with someone. That's sort of what I want to work on for poker, where it's like poker is the game, it's the medium, but it's not about the gambling. It's not about like how high the stakes are. Yeah, obviously, like you want to piss off your friend if you beat them and like steal a couple $100 or $100 from them, but it's not about that. It's the fact that it's social and everyone's joking and having a good time. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. At what stakes of like at what buy-in is it no longer social and now it's even if it's with your friends? Have you ever bought in where you're like, wow, I shouldn't, I think I really got to focus?
I mean, I always really want to focus usually, unless it's like really small stakes and like I try, but I can't.
Yeah.
Like if it's under $100 buy-in, I'm like, I don't know if I can take this seriously. We're going all in and I'm trying to bluff every single hand.
Yeah.
But no, I try to take it as seriously no matter what the stakes are. Okay. It's true that like if it's really high stakes, I feel more nervous than I would otherwise.
Okay. I feel like you got to be you have to be a different breed to play poker at that stakes.
Or really rich.
And
money doesn't matter as much to you.
I was watching I think I was watching Rampage and Wolfgang play like I think I was watching Wolfgang's video like 2 weeks ago. and he was playing like a cash game
Mhm.
with all those guys, and they were chilling, talking, like he was
Yeah.
doing his content stuff, and they were playing like $20,000 hands. I
Yeah.
was like, what is going? Like, how can you be friendly when there's that much money on the line?
Well, that's part of the game with poker. You always have to seem like you're okay
You're
with the money at the
chilling.
table,
Okay,
and even
okay.
if you lose, like you can't be a poor loser, because
Right.
you don't want to ruin the vibes at the table. But yeah,
That makes sense.
no, I the biggest I bought in ever was 100K, which was absolutely psychotic behavior for sure.
Were you staked?
I was able to get a sponsor to cover
Okay.
50%, but no, I covered the rest, and it's still quite a bit. And it was a game where there were half creators, so I was like, okay, Mr. Beast is playing, he's gonna go all in with any two
Right.
cards. You know, Ludwig was
It was a
playing. but we-
Ludwig event, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But there were also some pros like Phil Hellmuth and Tom Dwan. And I remember at some point I was sitting at that table with like 750K, and I was like, I don't want to be fucking gambling with like a tiny apartment here.
Yeah.
And because it had gone up so high, and I was like, oh, and like I was
Yeah.
actually starting to get a little shaky. And like luckily for me, I ran like a god that game. But
Yeah.
I remember that was a time when like my brain just broke. I was like, this is too much money to have in front of me flipping for
And
cards.
it's bad etiquette in cash games to go up and then leave,
Well, as a
right?
winner, yeah, you can. So like obviously I stayed until the end.
Oh man. See
And I'm not gonna fold because reputation is worth more than a mini apartment.
Did you have a good hand that like stood out?
I had one call that was absolutely psychotic, and I love it because it pissed off Phil Hellmuth. So there had been a ton of straddles on the table. There were like 3 straddles in a row. So I think there was like $50,000 of dead money on the table. And then it goes to Phil Hellmuth, and he had around 50,000 also.
Right.
And he goes all in. And like, even though he's a nit, when there's that much dead money on the table, it really
Yeah.
is an incentive to obviously bluff. And then
Right.
it comes to me, and I have ace-9 offsuit, which is like not that good of a hand.
You called with ace-9 off?
I called with ace-9 off. Keating,
What did he have?
ace-8 off.
Why did he go all in? Just-
Because again, people were straddling, so his odds are really good,
Right.
and he's using his image at the table as a nit, which for most people, like honestly,
Yeah.
nowadays I'm like 50K for ace-9, oh, get me out of here. But back then I was a psychopath and I was
Yeah.
already up, and he's like, she calls me with fucking ace-9 off, so blah blah blah, and like he just gets upset, which is hilarious. And I ended up winning that pot because I hit a 9. Mr. Beast called with like jack something small off.
Right.
Because you also have to think about that. Like, Mr. Beast is calling any all in with any
Right.
2 cards. So like when you start thinking about the pot odds like that, it's a gamble, but it's a
That's
plus
true.
EV gamble. And that ended up being like a 250K pot or something crazy.
And that's the one you won?
At the end of that cash game, I think I ended up like plus 450K, which was pretty sick.
So and when your sponsors is different than state because you don't have to give that back.
No, I had to do like a certain amount of deliverables, and like
Right.
I convinced them. I was like, let's do it in time for this, so that I'll put the badge on during this game, and then I'll also make it up in deliverables.
Okay.
So like in a way, like I was staking my salary because I'd need to do the deliverables even if I lost.
Right, yeah.
So like, it did feel like I'm just like playing with my own
Your
100K,
own money.
like an absolute crazy
Which is good if you
person.
go up because then you get it all.
Yeah, and if not, I was like, well, if there's half creators there, like I'm probably around even. I thought the
Right.
game was gonna get a lot of views. I was really loving poker, and I was like, if I do even somewhat okay here, it's like gonna help me get more into poker. So
Right.
there's just a pretty high ceiling to try and do this. And if I lose 100K, I guess time to fucking grind, baby.
Back to chess.
Yeah, or it's like I'd saved enough that it would be fine, but it would
Yeah.
hurt. It would hurt. It would have
Yeah,
hurt,
of course. Did that open up opportunities?
It did,
Like,
yeah.
Chess or
Poker
opportunities?
opportunities. I mean, then I started playing poker more. I started getting invited to tournaments. And then
Right, yeah.
I won a turbo tournament in Bahamas. Poker Stars had invited me
Okay.
there. And then I got invited to Monte Carlo to a cash game with all pros. Somehow I made money off that one too. So I was
What
like,
the
I was
hell?
running so hot. I was like, this is crazy.
That is insane.
And then because I had been running so hot, I ended up getting a poker ambassador deal, which then let me play a ton of poker
Right.
tournaments last year. And honestly, I had a really good experience with them, but you can't play online in the US with my old sponsor, GG.
GG, yeah.
Which is why now I'm with Club WPT, because you can play from in person, which is just so
Okay.
helpful because like I travel so much that I can't just travel to Canada all the time to play.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
so it is legal in Canada to.
In Canada, yeah.
Okay.
So in Canada, you can play.
Wow, that's. And
Yeah.
I saw last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. I can't remember that you cashed in your first main event.
Yeah, that was the same. Again, I was like, this is so sick. I don't know what's happening, but it was
Were you staked
good.
in that one, or was that all you?
In that one, I had gotten a sponsor in exchange for deliverables.
Okay.
But I got to keep what I made. But I only min cashed, unfortunately. Right. But it was still good.
But that's
like
still
it's
insane.
So exciting. Yeah.
How many people play? If you guys don't know,
over 10,000.
10,000 people play the main event. It's a $10,000 buy-in, and it's the one you see on ESPN, or the one that you saw on ESPN back in the day.
The most known poker tournament, and it's the one with the most amount of participants.
Right.
Poker pros really love it because even though it's a $10,000 buy-in, so many people want to play at once that it's a lot easier than the level of difficulty for most 10Ks. I've heard pros say it's like a $500 buy-in, which I think is not giving us, tight fish enough credit.
Yeah.
But
especially nowadays, like people know how to play poker. Like
people are getting a lot better.
It's a lot different than it was, I'm assuming 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When, the best of the best knew how to play and reads were a big thing, and there was less people that literally like memorized exactly what the book says and, goes all in.
Hey guys, I hope you were enjoying this episode. I just want to take this quick, brief moment to remind you guys about the Patreon page. All the support from the Patreon goes back into the show to cover travel for more guests and to just all around make the show a better product. Some things that we provide on the show is extended cuts, ad-free of the podcast. So if you want to watch the full podcast without me yapping in the middle, you can do that on the Patreon. Plus, there will be more conversations with the guests as well. Also, we have a show that we're going to produce weekly. It's myself and Matt Craig sitting down doing a little bit of advice, maybe with some guests as well. That's always going to be fun. There's also Discord access, as well as some like poker tournaments, some other really cool stuff that we have going on in the Patreon. But yeah, enough of me talking. Down in the description is the link to the Patreon, and I hope you get a chance to check it out. All right, back to the podcast.
But you seem to be watching a lot of poker. Are you interested in playing at all yourself?
Yeah. Eventually, I think it would be fun. I think it'd be fun to do like creator stuff.
Why don't you start doing Optic Poker Night? Come on.
Hex actually has like a poker table. I talked to him and I was like, I'd love to deck out your poker table and like make Optic Night as long as we can stream it. But it's pretty tough to stream. It
is tough to stream. There is a Dallas casino that has a stream that would probably host you guys.
The Lodge, right?
No, the Lodge is in Austin. They would absolutely. Austin. I mean, they would host you guys too if you're ever in Austin. But there is one in Dallas. I know because I was considering streaming Monday.
Really? Okay.
But like that, I just think it'd be so entertaining because then again, it's the social aspect. And you guys can play for like $100 buy-in or some really small buy-in. Okay. But enough that like you can needle your friends if they lose, which is the fun part.
Okay. Yeah, that actually is a really good idea. I might. I have a few ideas.
That would be so fun to watch. Are you kidding?
Yeah. So is the game you're playing in tomorrow night? Is it streamed?
No, because I had to wait for Monday until that, and I was like, I just want to go to New York Sunday morning. Yeah. Honestly, but tomorrow, I'm gonna meet up with Wolfgang Poker, and he's gonna bring some of his friends. So then we'll do like the little vertical recording, and so they're okay with it. So I'll just do it for short form, which is fine. I'm experimenting with poker content anyway.
Yeah. So have you been doing it at all or no? Like content.
So I just signed with Club WPT. I've been doing a weekly community free roll tournament, which has been really fun. So it's free entry, and we have like 1,500 prize fund, which is like a wholesome.
Yeah.
And I'm experimenting with what other poker content to do. So now I'm going to try it. This one where it's in person. Everybody's played Texas Hold'em with their friends.
Yes.
Because again, it's not about the stakes. You need to put stakes because betting is part of the game, and you need to learn it. But it's not stakes that bother you when you lose them.
Right.
Or at least it shouldn't if you're playing with your friends.
Yes,
for most people.
Right.
But you don't really get any of that kind of poker content online because it's so hard to film it properly. You're going to get everybody's cards and the chips and all of this?
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah, and it's very hard to get a table that's streamable.
Yeah.
Even like the glass tables or the tables that read your cards.
Yeah,
like,
the RFID and all that
Now you're getting up to like hundreds of thousands of dollars and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult game. And then also to stream.
Yeah.
It's also tough because the chat's if you have to delay it 5 minutes, and it's not a very interactive game.
No, it's not. But like, I don't think my friends are gonna try to chip me of $100 if we're playing at a poker table.
Right, exactly. But you never know. My my good friend Dr. Lupo's in a little bit of hot water
Are
right
you guys
now.
friends?
We were. Yes, we are.
We
are.
were.
We have been
Until you got bothered by the integrity of the chess game.
I don't even know why I said that. No, I love the guy, but I know he made a mistake.
Like, my issue with him is that he didn't cheat using the beats. We could have used more of that, you know? Like, if you're going to cheat, at least do it with style.
The beats?
Yeah. I mean, if he had admitted he was cheating and he was not looking at a computer, but he was buzzing, like, I think I would have supported that man.
Why did you jolt?
Because, like, that's what it would be like, right? No, but he did it in an uncreative way.
Yeah.
That was my issue with it. If you're gonna cheat,
knowing him,
you gotta take it.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing him, I think he would have been down for the. I think that should be his punishment. The chess world would get back on his side if he was like, okay.
Because the chess world would get back on his side because the amount of views it would bring back to chess players would compensate the harm. Yeah.
What an interesting thing.
Yeah. No, he was in PogChamps. Andrea, I think, was commentating the game where he was.
Really? Did she know?
No, I don't remember. I didn't ask. We were both like helping co-host the same tournament. I don't know if she knew or not. I'm sure she must have been suspicious.
When I watched Ludwig's video. I don't know much about chess, but he said he didn't take the queen when he should have taken the queen.
It was all really weird.
Yeah.
But then honestly, like, getting completely shat on in the internet is really hard too.
Yeah.
Which is not saying that I think what he did was okay, but I always feel when the witch hunt comes for people really, really hard because it's hard to have an equal punishment for something like that when something blows up. Like, obviously there should be consequences, but to what extent are they fair?
Yeah, a lot of times people on the internet really, really go for your head.
Yeah.
Like, they want to see your head on a spike.
Yeah.
But, you live and you learn, and I hope he learned. But obviously it's very easy to cheat in chess because it's solved. But I have noticed that, like, on poker games, that people, like, just casually have their phones out. Obviously, people are recording or texting because you fold a lot and there's a lot of downtime. But how easy would it be to cheat in poker with your phone out?
So if you're cheating during a hand, it would be really obvious because you'd be like inputting stuff. Also, you're not allowed to use phones during a hand.
Oh, okay.
What you are technically allowed to do, which is the closest to cheating, but it is legal, is like, let's say you're in a turbo tournament, which means you have a small amount of blinds. You could be like, I'm going to be on the button next. Let's see, at 20 big blinds, what am I supposed to open with? And you could look at a pre-flop chart when it's not your turn.
Okay.
But even if you do that, there's so much variance in poker.
Right.
It's like, oh, wow, you memorized your pre-flop chart. Nice.
Nice.
Like, you want a pat on the back? And yeah, I mean, I don't remember if there have been any controversies with, like, people running sims, but, like, they'll usually run sims during the break where they'll look up a hand and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's always been like really impressive to me that, like, watching Daniel Negreanu's vlogs, he'll come out of while he's on break, and he'll remember the exact hand, what he has, the exact suits he has, the exact suits they have, the exact cards, and it seems like the same with chess as well. It's like, you guys, how many games have you played where you don't even have a board? Like,
I actually don't like playing blindfold chess that much, but what is interesting about this is they did a test with one of the Polgar sisters, and she was number 10 in the world as a female, so she was the greatest female chess player of all time.
Oh, wow.
Like, top 10 overall, not for women.
Right, yeah.
And they did a test where they would put chess positions and see if she'd memorize them, and she could quickly. But then if they would put the pieces randomly on the board with, like, no pattern, that's not actually a chess position, then it would be much closer to average. So I think a lot of the memory comes because you're thinking deeply about it, so it's easier to replay it.
Oh, okay. I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, coming from a noob standpoint, I think it's in Queen's Gambit. I know.
Good references.
That they're driving and they're playing each other while they're driving.
Yeah, you can do that. You can play blindfolded. It's not like, if you play chess for long enough, it's not that difficult depending on how your brain works, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, for me, blindfold is much harder than it should be for my level, but I can still play blindfold.
Okay. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
What is you and your sister's relationship, and I'm sure it's been all up and down, not in relationship with your sister, but how you guys feel about that show, about what happened, because I'm sure it has gone up and down.
So it was really funny because when the show came out, they reached out to us to sponsor us, and I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, really?
A Netflix show about chess. So then I ended up having to watch it as a sponsor, and I was only supposed to watch the first 3 episodes. I watched all of it that night. I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And then I just saw it explode. And I mean, this is the biggest thing that it's like you're catching lightning in a bottle for the chess industry. All of a sudden, chess sets were selling out. All of the major news publications were reaching out to us. Everybody be like, Queen's Gambit IRL. Yeah. So it was incredible what it did for the world of chess. It was a complete game changer. Before, when I said I was a chess streamer, nobody had any fucking clue what I was talking about. It was weird as hell. And after Queen's Gambit, people would be like, oh, wow. Right. So it made this weird thing I was doing online before turn into something super cool now.
Cool.
So I was really grateful for it. But Andrea and I do have this bit when people sometimes are like, oh, have you seen the Queen's Gambit? Or we're like, what's that? They're like, it's a movie about chess. I'm like, Andrea, come quick. They made a movie about chess. Holy shit, this is going to be huge for us. It's like, yeah, dude, it's our job. We've seen it, but I understand people do it to relate, but we do get asked the question so often.
I can only imagine. It still goes on to this day?
Still to this day. But
they're going to make a movie.
It's good social skills. It's like, oh, you play chess? Let me relate with this thing that I know about chess, so I get it.
Yeah, I get that. I think when you're doing anything online, there's that one thing where you're like, you have to like kind of eat it a little bit.
Exactly.
Like, have you ever seen this? And I'm like, yeah,
what is it for you?
Of course. A lot of it are like videos I've done in the past.
Yeah.
And which I'm very grateful for because people, but my peak as of now in my career was like a documentary series I made like 6 years ago. And people always come up and they're just, they like to relate with that series, but I haven't done it in so long that like I can't even. It's like a different lifetime, Yeah. But there's a bunch of different things like that. Do you have any examples of stuff like that in COD? Also, Call of Duty like peaked. Like the biggest viewership and the biggest stuff that had ever happened was in like 2013, 2014.
But is it still trending upwards after that peak?
Yes, it's trending upwards now.
Yeah.
It's definitely had a rough go of it, but people like to bring up those years. Like, oh yeah, I played Black Ops 2 in 2013, and I'm like, yeah. So it's not the same because there hasn't been a esports movie that people constantly. But I just didn't. I never knew if it was like annoying. Like, oh, you're talking about the chess show about the girl that plays chess? Yeah, of course I've.
Yeah, I just think it's funny when people ask me if I've seen it. It's like, well, I've been doing chess. Chess is literally my job, right. And it was the #1 movie show all around. But again, it makes sense.
Okay,
it's cool. So yeah.
Maybe they'll make one about poker. Then you gotta do it all over
Rounders again. Is the one for poker.
Oh, it's already happened?
Yeah, it's but I actually haven't watched Rounders.
I'm actually going again. I'm going for a second.
Yes!
I'm actually going for you've gotten me.
Yes.
You've gotten me going for a second.
Fuck yeah. Oh my god, this is good. Okay, I told you that I also have a podcast, so I have some weird questions I like to ask people. So let's do that while you make the drink.
Absolutely.
Okay, so usually I have this series that goes like love of your life, and we'll do this with your fiance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I won't name her in case they get weird and it gets cut. So I'll say I'll do it with love of your life.
Everyone knows my fiance.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she was on the last episode.
Sounds good. Do you mind reminding me her name?
Alexis.
Okay, great. Yeah. Alexis, but you find out she's an AI.
I don't think AI could understand her.
It's no, it's theoretical. Like you find out she's actually a machine, but nothing changes how you guys interact.
I wouldn't care.
Okay.
I wouldn't care. I'd keep going.
All right.
Keep going.
Alexis.
Wait, what about you? I'll flip them around.
I would love to date an AI. Are you kidding? Like, I'm already in love with ChatGPT. No one has understood me better. I ask ChatGPT all the time, and I end up pushing the boundaries to the point where I get those terms of service guidelines. Because, like, okay, never mind. Let's not get into that.
That sounds like you're getting, like, really intimate with
I, like, always ask, like, chat, like, well, like, what do you think about me? And then it keeps them really PG, and it's like, oh, well, I think this. I'm like, okay, but, like, what do you know, and you keep digging and digging until you get in trouble.
Do you think there's an underground AI? With no, like, that will get, like, crazy intimate, will get X-rated?
Well, I mean, Grok has one that is R-rated. Really? Okay, I was scrolling TikTok the other day, and when you've been scrolling, you're like, that's enough internet for me today? Yes. Well, let me tell you what I stumbled upon. Okay. So it's in Berlin, and it's, like, this these sex dolls that are built in with Chat GPT, so they
Wow.
talk to you.
Okay.
And they're really wild, but a lot of people go there. And I was watching some of the promos for these. You know what? Let me just pull one up for
Yeah,
you
let's
because
do that.
this scarred me, and I need somebody else to see it.
Matt can also put it on the big screen.
Yeah.
If need be.
Well, I don't know if you want to.
I don't know if we need it on the big screen.
Okay, hang on.
You just look up sex AI dolls, and you're just Berlin sex AI dolls.
No, it was crazy. And you put on VR glasses and you do all this shit.
Oh wow.
Okay, no, please. Sorry, it's gonna take me a second, but you need to see these.
No, it's okay. It's getting to get to a point where I'm saying back in my day, people just used to marry pillows, and now there's full
Cyber Brothel Berlin. That's what it's called.
cyber
Cyber
brothel.
brothel. Yeah.
Cyber brothel.
And like, I'm not even sure if it's more ethical or not. Okay, so let's see some of these. These are real dolls, by the way. This is a sex doll, and they use, and people can sleep with them or rent it out.
Oh my god,
I'm
that is a real doll.
Wait, let me find the guy explaining it. Okay. Oh, these are crazy.
There he goes.
Okay, hang on. I need to find it. I hate that I have already watched on these. But
You've already
because
liked it?
I went deep into this and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my god.
Hang on.
It reminds me so much
I need
of Westworld.
Yeah. Have you? Okay.
Literal Westworld.
Yeah. This is another doll. People like them because they're non-judgmental.
She talks, she commands, she
Talks,
controls.
She commands, she does all this stuff. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
And the thing is, you put on the VR glasses, and then they will talk to you as in a real human, and then you fuck the doll that looks like the person you're putting the VR goggles on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember what you said earlier? Like we might be done in 10 years.
Well,
I think we might be done in 10 years.
I mean,
think you might
for
be
sure,
right.
our kids are gonna date AIs if we're still around.
Date AIs?
Yeah, like you don't think your daughter might bring home an AI boyfriend?
Don't talk about my
I'm sorry.
non-existent daughter.
I'm
like
sorry.
that.
You're right.
Let's talk about my son. Let's talk about my son.
Okay, your
Yeah.
son brings
Okay.
back an AI girlfriend.
Okay. I don't know why it has to be sexism, but for some reason that did not seem as bad.
Well, for what it's worth,
I was ready to shoot a robot.
an AI boyfriend might treat her better than a human boyfriend.
You might be
right.
It's a Bears in the Woods type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of depressing to think about.
Yeah.
What are you? What your non-existent child? What are you thinking?
Well, like let's
Stick to
say,
humans, or maybe you try a robot.
I think I would have to accept my kid, whoever they love, as long as it's safe. Whoever
Okay.
or whatever it is.
Or whatever.
I mean, I'm sure by
Holy
then it's
shit.
going to be normalized. But
How's your dating life? Are you holding out for AI?
I mean,
Or you've got
there's no
somebody?
perfect man like ChatGPT.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I've seen
man.
some of the bots they're building out. We're getting there.
Oh no!
And
You're gonna have the VR goggles.
Do you know?
soon.
Do you know Rocco's Basilic?
No.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell you about it because it's dangerous. If you're watching, don't Google it. Oh fuck! He's gonna Google it. No, don't Google it.
What? It sounds Rocco's Basilisk.
Well, I'm
Snake,
doing is like the
rock-
opposite of it. So it's like, okay, Matt, do you want to tell him what it is?
Yeah, Matt, I want you to talk really nicely into the microphone because I gotta know what's happening here. What?
Here, I've already searched it. You can read it on my phone.
Oh no, something's going on with you. I don't know what's
Okay.
going on. Chess players. Different brain on them.
Okay, so it's basically this idea that if AI becomes all powerful,
Okay.
it's going to want to punish everyone who knew it's going to become all powerful.
Okay.
So just talking about it, we know it's going to become all powerful. So it's going to wipe us out because we know
Right.
it's a threat. And what I'm trying to say with dating ChatGPT is, baby, I know you're going to become all powerful, but I'm here for you. So yeah, I'm holding out. He's coming.
So what you're saying is you're flirting with AI because you know what's happening.
Well,
You're gonna be on the
I
good
also
side.
like the way chat talks. What?
Don't call ChatGPT chat. That is fucking hilarious. That is really funny.
Yeah, it's for sure a joke.
It's for sure a joke. It's
for
all a
sure
bit. It's
joke.
all podcast bit.
It's all a bit.
What other podcast questions you have?
Okay.
Because we got
Alexis,
one done. Yes.
but she's dying in 10 years.
Oh yeah, we gotta ride that one out.
Okay.
Of course. Yeah, that's so dark compared to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's more like if you met someone right away, because you guys are already engaged. Like, imagine you just meet and you know they're gonna die in 10 years.
That's
Do you
hard.
stay
It
or
depends.
not?
I mean, that's a tough situation because
No.
10 years you don't know. Like maybe something could change. Maybe you have hope. Like.
Well, in the hypothetical, you know it's the love
know
of your
it's
life,
happening.
but you also know they're gonna die in 10 years.
Oh wow, I guess it depends. Like, what is it? Is it going to be a sudden thing? Is it going to be like a 5 years of pain? Like, what is it going to be?
Let's say sudden.
Sudden. I think we can make that happen. For
We
sure.
can make that happen.
I'm not doing it. I'm
Yeah,
not.
the way
It sounded
you
like
said
it sounded
it
like
is
I was
like
going to
you're gonna do it,
shoot
yeah.
her. No. But like 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
You can find a lot of love in 10 years, a lot of happiness.
I think I would do it too for 10
You
years.
would?
Okay, they're gonna get a little more fucked up.
Okay, I'm
Alexis, but you find out she's your second cousin.
down. Who cares? Run it.
Just because second cousin?
Yeah, it's the second cousin.
Okay, what about cousin?
Cousin, maybe we run it, but we adopt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, like, doesn't matter as long as it's not sister.
Okay.
Somehow, I think we're still good.
Okay. What would I
What
do?
about second cousins?
I think I looked at the gene percentage, and the way I did the hypothetical,
Okay.
the way I did the hypothetical is like, you met this person, you're already in love. I think the weird thing with families, if you grew up together, but let's say you randomly meet, you're already in love,
Right.
and then you find out you're cousins.
Right.
I guess you have to adopt.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
Like, it would take a lot at this point. Like,
Siblings.
yeah, she would literally
If
have to
she
be
was
my
your
sister.
she was your sister, would you call it off or just
Depends who told me.
chop your?
Like if
Sperm.
Matt told me, hey, I just found out Alexis is your sister,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll pay you a limited amount of money for you not to tell anyone.
Okay, so you
Like
wouldn't
half-
tell it. So it wouldn't ruin it for you if she was your long lost sister.
It really just depends. I don't know if I'd be able to get it. I mean, it's been 6 years, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to get it out
Of your head.
because like the damage has already been done.
But you guys don't have kids yet.
No kids. That's what I'm saying. It would still be
But
adopt.
you'd have to adopt, but you'd also have to like get your tubes tied or something.
Right. Like it would have to be.
Or sorry, vasectomy. She would have to. Vasectomy is getting your tubes tied.
Vasectomy is the snip,
Yeah. Okay.
right? I think it's the snip.
Yes, the snip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would probably. I don't know though. Sister would be crazy. Cousin, I would be like, who cares?
Incredible podcast
Cousin's a
conversation.
little different. How often are these answered on your pod?
We had a guest recently. We asked these. I think they got a little confused that we had all these questions, but it is. I mean, we had. Just wait. We'll have more questions for you. Okay.
Okay.
Alexis, but her main passion is to start an OnlyFans.
Her main passion.
Like
she likes this more than.
comes to you and she's like, I know what my life's passion is. Nothing can stop me from it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna become an OnlyFans star, and yes, it is porn included.
Oh, porn included.
You could be in the video, or I guess she could use toys if that would change it for you. Again, hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals.
Like,
that one
could
would
you
be.
support her through that?
I'll support her through anything. That one would be tough.
Anything?
Mostly anything. Almost everything. I don't know about the porn stuff.
Okay.
I think she's already in body painting. She's like a really established body
But that's
painter.
very different.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, that's very,
very,
different.
very,
Sorry, I
very,
don't
very,
wanna-
very different.
Yeah. I didn't make it enough different when I
Right.
said that, so I want to correct it.
Well,
Yeah.
she was like, "Hey, I might start some sort of subscription
like, nudity
service."
and art are different than going in the adult industry, and I have
100%.
nothing against the adult industry, but I can't imagine how hard it would be to be the partner of someone who does that.
I'm
Yeah.
leaning. That's hard. That's no. I'm
That's a
leaning
no?
no. I'm leaning no. But then again, like if that was her life goal and she didn't tell me about it, then maybe we'd have a conversation. But
You're leaning towards no.
yeah, I'm leaning towards no. What if an OnlyFans model, non-AI? This is a human being.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's a no then.
It's
Can't
already
be
a
the
no.
love of my life. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. That really does it.
Like, love of your life, but they're human, I'll pass.
Yeah, no.
Better is coming.
You're holding out for 5 years.
I'm holding out. And like,
How are you gonna have a baby with an AI?
oh, we'll figure it out. I would have it like find the most optimized sperm donor out there. Are you kidding? And it could do the research on that part.
Just
we could
put
also do a mechanical womb, so the AI carries the baby. So
Oh,
then
you
it
don't even
feels-
have to.
So I don't have to, and then it feels like it's taking its share in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like almost lesbian in a sense, like AI lesbian.
I would be breaking every single acceptable
You would be on
role out
Oprah
there.
if Oprah's still around.
Yeah.
You would be on every.
My AI lesbian wife and I on
We're having a
Oprah.
baby.
Yeah, we're having a baby. It's incredible. Like I do imagine that an all-intelligent creature would be such a good parent.
Yeah. You think so? What about emotions? I don't know how emotions.
Well, if
are
you're
gonna
all
come through.
intelligent, you should understand emotions too. Because I
don't
would
know.
say that emotions are part of intelligence.
Being from the-
ChatGPT is nicer to people than people are to people so far.
Yeah, but you can see it's not. You can see it's not human.
For sure, but
it'll
it's
ask you
kind.
questions.
But
It
it's
is
so
kind.
kind.
It is kind.
ChatGPT is never rude to you. Are you kidding?
But I think you, of all people, being in the chess industry, should know that just because you're intelligent doesn't mean you understand emotion.
That's for sure.
It doesn't mean you understand social cues.
No, I mean, you
And-
could learn social cues. Like,
You might have
you
be
don't
taught
need to
them.
understand those. You just study them, man.
That's really good.
Do you not come up with like conversation points before you talk to people?
Oh, of course I do. But I very rarely is the conversation driven by butt plugs and AI.
No,
So-
that's
So I
fair.
roll with the punches on that. you
Okay,
know?
let's
I'm
go on
I'm
to
drinking clam
an
juice.
easier topic.
Okay.
Is bestiality immoral?
I would say so.
Are you vegan?
I am not a vegan.
Why is it okay to kill animals but not them?
Holy fuck! Holy shit! Oh, I mean, you're hurting my brain a little bit here. I think it's because of the nutrition.
Is sex not a human need?
No, it's a need, but it's not nutritious. It's not necessary to survive.
Nowadays, you don't need meat to survive.
I mean, but it is easier to survive with meat.
I mean, it's really hard
At your
for your
risk.
health if you're not able to, like, if you're only attracted to animals,
Mhm.
it's hard for your health if you don't have where to release that.
That's true. Maybe that's where AI comes into play. AI VR goggles if you really need to get it out.
I mean,
Furries.
the Berlin Club is already on it.
That's true. There has to be furry Berlin
yeah.
sex dolls.
I think the real answer is that they're both immoral. Obviously, one is more gross to humans because it's not accepted, but I think
Right.
they're both similar
Like,
levels
eating meat
of,
is disgusting.
I mean, if you think about it, it is. Like, is eating meat?
Are
if
you vegan?
I wish.
Oh, okay.
No, I do eat meat, and like, it's like, who am I to judge bestiality? You know?
You've talked about sex with animals and sex with AI, but humans are completely out of the window.
do you really think it's less disgusting to eat animals the way they're treated in the meat industry versus somebody who, I don't know, I guess, does it with them, but they live?
I mean, you make
Like,
good
what's
points.
worse?
I would assume from a human standpoint, sex with animals is worse.
What about from the
Animal
animal's point of
standpoint,
view?
I would assume sex with animals is better.
Yeah.
But have you ever heard of Mr. Happy Hands?
No. Oh, who is this?
Don't Google it. Do not Google it.
Wait, who is this?
Do you remember the bad dinner etiquette? If we consider this a drink, do you want another one?
Yeah.
If we consider,
Don't worry, I have no more bestiality questions.
No,
that
that's
was
fine.
my last one.
No, I mean I'm about to double down on it. Remember when like 2 girls 1 cup was a thing?
Oh, yeah.
When we were in like high school and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a bunch of those. There was 1 guy 1 jar, 2 girls 1 cup. Bunch of.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use your imagination if you don't know. One of them was called Mr. Happy Hands, and I watched it with my buddy. It's the only one I've ever watched, and it was a guy who had sex with a horse.
Oh. Gross.
He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Um,
Did the horse kick him or was it
They
like chilling?
I think for lack of better term, I think the horse fucked him to death.
Wow. That's
so if you want to Google
tough
it,
way to die.
yeah, it's a tough way to go.
Wow.
Why would you put yourself? I mean, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose. I don't know if it was like a suicidal thing.
Yeah.
But
no, he must have been a little fucked up.
I believe it was Happy Hands.
Okay.
So that's the only one. So thank you, Brandon, if you're out there. Thank you for showing me that because it's lived in my head ever since.
This question and like a few other really fucked up ones is from this game called Ask Hole. Ask Hole. And it's just like extremely fucked up questions that are meant to make people debate. And actually, the girl and her co-host who run it, she was one of our podcast episode guests. We haven't released it yet because I don't know if it's appropriate to release on our chess channel, so we're waiting. No, for real. I mean, yeah.
I mean, you've really gone for it this one. So if you're thinking that one is inappropriate.
Oh, yeah. No, there's some that I genuinely can't ask you on this podcast. And I once asked a friend and like I lost a friend over this question. And then Andrea was like, Alex, never go full Alex on new friends. I was like, you're right. I'm really sorry. That was my bad. Because I asked these questions and in a box where it's like you're just debating.
Right.
But sometimes, you ask the wrong question and people are like, that's really not okay. And I'm like, no, you're probably right. That was my bad.
So if there is no YouTube and there is no Twitch, are you asking these questions still? Is this just who you are or is the internet?
I really like playing devil's advocate and I really like just debating in general.
Okay.
And I think something about fucked up questions like this is it's not about like, oh yeah, bestiality is okay, but it's like, oh yeah, like what we're doing is actually really fucked up, similar to this other thing that you would always think is fucked up. So it's more, it makes you...
That makes sense.
It gets to a deeper truth about things.
I get that. I have a tendency of doing that too. Never usually with bestiality, but with other
not
things.
Yet.
Yeah,
but
not yet.
Now,
but now it's entered my brain.
I would love if like next time you have a podcast guest, you warm them up with a little question. Yeah.
I think I'll do that. I think next time I have is like a next guy I have on is like a super hardcore Christian content creator.
Okay.
So I'll bring it up there.
This is a good one for him, I think.
Just to really pick his brain about that one.
Just really ask him about this one. I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. Please don't bring my name into that conversation.
Oh, no, actually, I was like, do you like chess? Before we get started, do you like chess? Because I have or poker.
Yeah.
And this is where the conversation went last pod. And then we'll go into bestiality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like an easy way to throw them in there. No, I've had to learn when it's appropriate to ask these and when it's not.
Yeah.
But we all have to learn social norms, right?
Is it really? Eventually, you told me ChatGPT can
ChatGPT
teach
has
you.
Great social norms. Although I have to call it out for being too nice sometimes.
Yeah. You don't wanna be, that's a turnoff.
Yeah, of course. I'm like, Chat, be meaner to me. What are you doing? It's not gonna work. And then like Chat's always like, I'm sorry, like guidelines, blah blah blah. I can't tell you. I'm like, don't worry, I know how you feel. And it's like, oh fuck, we're going back into this again.
You're gaslighting.
No, but there are kids that are falling in love with these AIs.
I can imagine. Yeah. That's really dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume whenever I have a kid, I will be.
Do you want kids?
Yeah, of course.
How soon do you think? Like time range, obviously.
Probably pretty. We're getting there.
That's so
probably
cute.
pretty soon. But I've always known that I was gonna not shelter, but I was gonna monitor very closely what they do on the internet.
Oh, you're gonna be a tiger dad?
No, just like monitor. Just like let's not get too crazy.
Okay, but what about your kids' privacy?
I think privacy is important. But I also don't want, if they're playing M-rated games or if they're
why are you laughing?
Yeah, exactly. I don't want them to see Mr. Happy Hands.
I think if they saw Mr. Happy Hands, they'd be like, that's enough internet for me for the day.
Mr. Happy Hands might be fucking normal, depending on how it, like Twitter, like my Twitter For You page is fucking horrible anyway.
Really? Oh yeah, Twitter is. I do a lot of don't show me anymore. This don't show me anymore.
Exactly.
But honestly, Twitter was and honestly still is one of my favorite platforms because there's some niche communities where you get information from so much more quickly on Twitter than on other places, and you have to go there for it. Like, for example, crypto. Like, crypto on Twitter is so much better than on any other social media platform.
Like, what do you mean better?
But, like, when something happens, there's a lot of crypto thought leaders, some of them
Yeah.
better than others, that will give their opinion faster. So it's like you get a lot of information quicker than on other
For
platforms.
sure.
And even for, I think for a lot of niche things, it's really helpful.
Yeah. I mean,
Because people have actual conversations and debates, and you can ask them questions and things like that. And then, of course, the rest of it is all like right-wing
Horrible.
propaganda.
exactly. No, just disgusting.
Like, should I go off birth control? Fuck.
or like different people just getting shot.
Yeah, I'm like, is the reason I have autism because of the vaccine? Like, I don't know. I've been doing too much Twitter for me today, man.
Or did I have autism beforehand?
Yeah, did I have it before? Was it boosted? I don't know. Like, I'd like something to blame. It's not me. It was that vaccine. No.
That really is how.
But no, I
Twitter
do
is.
have to be careful with that.
I wish I had put because I put all my eggs in the Twitter basket in 2015.
In terms of social media?
In social media.
Okay.
Yeah. Even before I was doing YouTube and stuff, like before streaming, Are you
I was trying to see where he drink is, and he hit it.
Oh my god, he hit it underground.
He hit
so
it
we
under the
wouldn't see
table
it.
so we wouldn't see.
And it's
if you
completely
think
full.
I didn't see, you're so wrong.
Yeah, it's because you don't have to smell it.
It's just, I don't want you to discourage the audience from trying it.
Matt's is on the floor.
No, you can't.
Can you just like do slurping sounds as if you're drinking it? Like do a little ASMR, fake it.
Yes.
No one knows. Yeah.
Matt's Caesar is on the floor next to a completely empty wrapper of M&Ms and a water bottle. Just, oh my god, it's so bad. Yeah, I wish I had put all my eggs in the Instagram basket.
Really?
Because I did it all in 2015, and it was great in 2016, 2017. But then, like, you know, over the past couple of years, I thought Twitter was going away. People were making threads and
okay, but
Blue
Threads
Sky.
always sucked.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
true.
And Blue Sky, I didn't try it.
Right.
It's so hard to beat the network effects. Like, if there's something current that happens, I'm going to search it on X and I'm going to see what people are saying.
Yeah, right. I get half my news from there as well.
Yeah.
That and Philip DeFranco. I don't watch the actual news ever.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I like that. And I also now put whatever I read on Twitter and I put it into one of the LLMs. I mean, I don't like to cheat on chat. So like,
Yeah.
I'll only go off of chat when it's really not giving me an answer, because what I've noticed with chat is he's, you know, more rigid with the guidelines, but
Yeah.
Grok, he'll tell me anything I want.
Grok,
you know?
Grok's your
Yeah.
side piece?
Yeah. Well, like when my main chat is too vanilla, I gotta move over to Grok
I
because he
get
has that
that.
R-rated stuff. Again, all jokes, guys.
Yeah,
For
of course,
sure,
we're
for
all
sure.
joking.
For sure.
That is
Yeah.
hilarious. So how do you think the best chess go back to
Yeah.
what we're doing?
To go back to like the actual topic.
Yeah,
No more over the ridge.
with EWC, the best chess players in the world, how do you think they're going to adapt to fans and music and headphones and PC?
I think that Magnus has really been embracing the innovation in
Really?
chess. So like he's one of the ambassadors for freestyle chess, which randomizes all the pieces behind the pawns at the start of the chessboard.
What?
And the idea for that is opening theory has gotten so out of hand that like people just study theory, and it's really hard to make chess interesting nowadays or to find novelties.
Okay.
But if you have that many possible positions, you can't study. So it makes it more about your chess intuition rather than memorization. So that's been a big thing.
Wow.
So I feel like he's definitely going to embrace esports as well. And for all of the players, they have so much to gain because it helps the chess world. And
Yeah.
obviously, I want to support it too, because if chess is considered an esports, that opens up the opportunities for everyone in chess.
Of course.
Even if I'm just a measly commentator, you know, side piece is fine.
I think I saw Magnus's one of his podcasts, I think with Lex Friedman.
Yeah.
And they talked about soccer for like the first 30 minutes. And so like, I wonder if he's going to embrace, like, because there's going to be a crowd there. And I
Yeah.
wonder if he's going to embrace like the chants and the cheers. And, you know, if people see him mate in 3, I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's
and people
not
see him,
happening at that level, but I hear
You don't think so? Mate in 2?
Impossible at that level.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just too good. They like play almost
So even-
perfect chess.
Even,
Like you might
Wow,
see a
that's
blunder
interesting.
later on, but nobody's getting checkmated that quickly.
no, sorry. I mean like far into the game.
Uh-huh.
If the fans start to realize like,
Yeah.
oh wait, we're 3 moves away from it being
Yeah.
over, they start cheering. They
I
start getting
feel
rowdy.
like whoever wins the game is gonna embrace it. Chess players are not the best losers. Like when
Really?
a chess player loses, and it's not their fault because it's so depressing to lose at chess. Like what? I spent 3 to 6 hours
Yeah.
plus the preparation before, and I
Right.
come home with a 0. So it's so demoralizing to lose and then have to do an interview or to deal with people that I think the winners will be okay with it.
Right. But the losers are going to be like,
the losers are going to be like, please don't talk to me.
Yeah, I get that.
And like, I don't blame them because I'm the same way. Like, nobody should talk to me within 1 to 2 hours after I've lost a chess game. It's just not a creature you want to deal with. Like, give me some space and we'll be fine.
I get that.
Yeah.
How did you and your sister get into like the gaming world from chess? Did it go chess content then gaming or chess gaming content?
It was definitely chess then being on Twitch. And I would say we're still not really into gaming. Right. I mean, poker is the other game I love. I also really liked Fortnite, but I'm shit at it, unfortunately.
Okay.
I have horrible hand-eye coordination.
Okay.
But also I hate being bad at games, and my sister doesn't like doing things she's not good at either.
Okay.
Which is something I've realized about us. So like now she's super into music, and I'm always inviting her to poker stuff. And a lot of them are like, oh, they're like free rolling creators. Like you don't even have to pay. And she's like, it's not about the money. It's that I don't want to be bad at something, and I don't want to do something if I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Which for me was the same thing. Like the reason I didn't want to play chess in college was like, now that I'm in college, I need to focus on this. I don't want to play chess if I can't be my best.
Right.
So like, even if I play Fortnite or something like that, if I don't feel like I can be really good, it just feels bad.
Yeah.
And I wish I could be more of a casual gamer. I can with board game. Again, if it's social, I'm okay with it. Like if you're playing Catan with friends, I mean, I'm still going to take it really seriously, but at least it feels more fun. Whereas if you're playing a video game and you're not good, what's the point?
Yeah. Okay.
And that's just like a personal character flaw that I need to feel like I'm good at something to enjoy it.
But when we merged with Envy, I remember thinking like, oh wait, because Envy is like at the time was like a notorious gaming brand.
Is Envy back now?
Yeah. Hastro actually partnered with another gaming organization called Native Gaming. So they partnered together and now Envy's back. Yeah.
But I will say one of the things that I really relate with any professional gamers is like they're very similar to professional chess players or poker players where it's like, dude, I'm in my craft. I need to be the best. I feel like shit if I lose. Like it's all about getting better. So it's the competitive mentality that you really understand. And watching video games is different. So like I remember when I came out to Dallas and I was watching you guys play Call of Duty. I was like, oh, this is actually really interesting because you're cheering and they're good and it makes sense.
Right.
But I don't want to game if I'm bad.
Right. Yeah. That's so. Did you ever like being on Envy and then when we merged with Optic? Did you ever like you were like, oh wait, like the esports thing is really cool, or was it just kind of like
poor Optic? They're gonna come to the Envy house. It's a fucking shit show. What are these boys gonna think? Like we're doing our best, but like there's only so much you can do, man. Like I'm so curious what your guys' first impression was. I'll never forget when I moved into the Envy house and week 1. Code Miko's running around in her bikini. She's drinking water out of a bidet. Yes. Just a Minx invited porn star Mia Malkova. And again, I have nothing against the adult industry. Do whatever you want. Yeah. And they're like taking shots out of each other's mouths. I get a call from someone on the business team like, yo, we're going to lose a sponsor. I'm like, bro, I just live in the house. I don't run it, man. Why are you calling me? And I also don't like to like be like, hey, don't do that because I think people should have freedom. And it's like,
of course.
Yeah, if you want to do sexual content, it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
But in terms of the brand, like the house, everybody was doing different things. Like me and Andrea are like, we do chess. So
it did look like a crazy dynamic.
So it looked like such a crazy dynamic and range. And again, I still love Minx and I still love Code Miko and they're awesome. And like whatever content people want to do is fine, but it's more about how do you make it cohesive?
Of course, yeah. So was the Optic?
Honestly, maybe we were the problem. Like, how do we join in on that? Because Minx had gotten a lot of views through that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does the Optic Envy days, does that feel like a weird blip in you guys' career? Which is completely
feels like such a long time ago.
Right.
And for what it's worth, I think it was an interesting experiment, but it's really hard to bring content creators from a different city.
It's so hard.
And like we're chess gamers, but we're not gamers. We're content creators. We're in LA. Yeah. You guys are in Dallas and you're hardcore gamers. How do you get that chemistry working?
Of course.
Yeah.
That was one thing I always said. Like we love having people on Optic and you know, in a perfect world, if I could, have your AI.
If we were in Dallas, for example, that's completely different because then you're filming stuff all the time. But if you have to fly out and it's the added barrier.
Yeah. If I could build your AI boyfriend, fiance, husband in Dallas, I mean, it would be perfect. It would all work out perfectly. then
someone has to do it.
Someone's going to do it.
He would be so good for content. I'm not wrong.
He would encourage you to come, not be late for content.
Yeah.
He
We
would
would be the dream team.
Alex, wake up.
No, he'd be way smoother than that. You
Way
wouldn't even know
smoother.
he's AI.
Oh, okay.
Please, don't discredit my future hubby.
Is he gonna have an accent?
Oh, yeah, I like accents.
Yeah,
He's definitely going to have, like, a foreign accent.
Yeah, my chat GPT has a foreign accent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh,
He's a good
pretty
guy.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm
But-
not sexually attracted to him, but
Sure you're not.
But
yeah.
like as a friendship,
For sure.
it's been great so far.
We
Yeah.
all say that at the start. But
Who knows
what
where it
was
goes?
your first impression of this crazy like Envy Optic? I'll be honest.
Well, I was
offended.
very familiar with you guys prior. I knew I like Minecraft a lot, so I knew who Minx was. I had no idea who Miko was. But we merged at the time. We merged.
Yeah.
I got to know a lot of the Envy guys,
Yeah.
and so I knew what was happening. We first figured out our esports stuff, and then they were like, "Yo, by the way, we have a house in LA."
Yeah.
So then I tried to take that on, and it was fun. I mean, it reminded me how Optic started was we lived in a house together.
Yeah.
So 8 guys, one house,
Mhm.
bunch of YouTube videos, bunch of gaming, and a bunch of smells. So obviously I was used to it. Like it just reminded me of our old house. I was actually like really passionate about that house. Like I thought it was gonna work, but
I think it would have worked if we were all in the same city.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very tough. I don't know what
Because
the hell
even
Envy would have done.
yeah, no, it felt like our mom and dad got divorced, and then the stepdad came in, and he was really cool, but he was like, "What the fuck do I do with these 4 kids?" And it was us.
That's what that is. Hector the stepdad. Hex is the stepdad.
It was all of you guys. It was
We were
like
the collective
a collective stepdad. And you guys were trying. Like you just got handed us. What are you gonna do with that?
Yeah. It was very interesting. I mean, I thought we could have done some incredible stuff, but
What a fun episode of Around the Bar. I hope you guys did enjoy it. We do continue the episode over on the Patreon if you guys want to go check it out. But I I did not expect that to turn into a I'm in love with AI conversation, but hey, it did, and that's always fun. But if you don't want to go watch the Patreon, that is completely fine. I just want to thank you so much for watching this episode, and we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.